hello, everybody. Welcome to Real Estate with Ryan. So excited to be with you in the studios on an amazing Saturday. I hope you have an amazing start to your weekend and also have an amazing weekend. Thank you for spending time with us with Real Estate with Ryan. We really appreciate it. And if you're tuning in for the first time, we do this little show called Real Estate with Ryan, where we talk about East Tennessee's housing market, whether you're buying, selling, where are the interest rates? Should I downsize, Ryan? I'm relocating to East Tennessee. Can you help me? We cover all that and so much more. Try to have a little fun to it, a little humor. Try not to be stiff like a robot. You know, that's why a lot of these shows that we do, if you watch us behind the scenes, there's just very little preparation. Why? Because it's natural. It's all normal. And we really want to just kind of engage with you, the audience, and kind of spend some connection time and have fun. We're here 30 minutes and talk about real estate, but also we just appreciate all you guys listening for over 8 years on the radio and really just appreciate you. I get a lot of compliments and a lot of feedback from our clients, past clients, and people maybe that are listeners that we don't even really know. And so I just want to really appreciate you guys listening every week or catching us on social media. Means the world to us and our team. We put a lot of time and effort into all the things that we do here as a company, and so it means the world when you tune in. So let's get right to it. Like I said, we're tuning in. You can always catch us on Talk Radio 92.3 FM at 11 o'clock, or you can catch us at News Talk 98.7 at 1 o'clock. Don't worry. If you're doing the ball game and summer and life and kids are getting busy, don't worry. We're on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. And, of course, you can catch us on all the podcasts, Spotify, iTunes, and Google. We'll be there for a replay if you need it. So if we can help you in any way, best number in real estate, 693-SOLD. So let's go over the housing market. But before we start that, always got some congrats, some new sales, new pendings. And I really appreciate our great clients giving us trust in such a big move. So we got new listings, 417 Ridgecrest Road in Luttrell. Brand new listing out there, totally renovated. Make sure you check that out. It's got a little bit of acreage. We got 2619 Bear Crossing Way in Sevierville. Beautiful cabin out there. Great investment income, over $1 million. And cash flow is in excess of 120. So make sure you check that property out. New cabin on 704 Blueberry Ridge Way in Pigeon Forge. Not live yet, but it'll be here in days, so make sure you check that out. Beautiful cabin down in Gatlinburg. Great builder client of mine. He's deciding to sell it. He's got some more development going on. Opportunity there, 2.750, so over 2.7 million. Sleeps 30 plus. Projections over 250,000. It's a great opportunity, walking distance from downtown. You got to make sure you check it out. Won't be around long. Got a new listing on 2322 Bingham Island. And of course, new listing on 7004 Ashley Court condo in Knoxville. So congrats to our great client and listener to the radio for years. Really appreciate you. 902 Chickamauga Avenue. Beautiful home. I can't tell you the detail that was done throughout this property. It's built in the 1930s. Beautiful hardwood floors. I mean, the owner really did a great job. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears in there. I know he appreciates that. And we were able to find some new buyers that are going to love it as much as his family has. And so congrats to them. 156 South Columbia Drive in Oak Ridge. That went really, really quick. So excited for you guys, and congrats on that pending sale. And then 1043 Gap Creek Road in Elizabethton, Tennessee. It's a little bit out there. Great past client of ours wanted us to help them. We got it done. And it actually had 40 acres over it. So great property. Congrats to those new buyers. New land sale on Ridge Circle Road in Andersonville just went under contract. Congrats. Gecko Drive over in Hardin Valley. Congrats to those great clients of ours and their move to Connecticut. Super exciting there. Let's see. 423 Woodchuck Way in Seymour. Congrats. Great land sale there. Oakmont Circle. Congrats to the Duttons, our great little buyers there on their new purchase, having their house on the market. And that's how our week's been working over here. Hometown Realty, we've been busy. Hope everybody's had an amazing week. And we're going to talk about a good show, but let's go a little news before we get into it. Our show today is going to be about questions you need to ask when buying a home in 2024. Some of it may sound repetitive, but we're always going to reinforce it. Always going to go over it because why? Why is it more important? Because interest rates just lowered a little bit, and now may be the perfect opportunity to take advantage as the spring market heads not far to the summer market. Mortgage rates fall this week to the lowest level since mid-April. That home buyers are saving roughly about $30 a month in their payment. Will that be enough to lure housing buyers back into the market? The real estate industry mantra goes something like this: the best time to buy a house is when you're ready. Is that so true? But with the interest rates this week, the average rates, according to Freddie Mac, is 7.09. That's the lowest level since April 11th. So if you're purchasing a $400,000 house, talking about that interest rate adjustment could save you $30 a month in a monthly payment. Both existing home sales and mortgage applications are a leading indicator that sagging in spring under the weight of the interest rate. So the sales, obviously, in the spring have slowed down some. Rates at 7.5, 7.6. We talked to a lot of our clients about that. It's hard to make a move. A lot across the country, things are a little bit stagnant, but this is good insight for this week. And that's why we want to kind of tie into our buyer opportunities. Why is that important? Well, because now is the time to buy. Rates have just lowered. It's a presidential election. And more than likely, as we heat up to the summer, things are going to level out some to a certain degree. May not drop below 6, what we expected, but they may be more competitive, and maybe the best time as to purchase as inventory has rose across the country. We'll talk about that in just a few minutes. Previously owned homes in March sold as a seasonally adjusted rate of $4.2 million, according to the National Association of Realtors, about $1 million lower than the long-term average. Home purchase loan applications last week increased about 2% from week from prior, but they're down 17% lower from a year ago. So that's a little news on the interest rates, where we're going, and that's why we're going to kind of tie into this show. Why is it a best time to purchase? Kind of what we were referencing that article, that best time to purchase is when you're ready. And that really is. I think a lot of the market, I looked onto a little bit of some different websites today before doing the show, and it's doom and gloom, kind of like our news is always doom and gloom. So the market's obviously changing. I want to kind of share with you some of the insight of the housing inventory. So in the Knoxville housing market, our inventory a couple of months ago was hovering around 4,000 homes. And we say Knoxville DMA, that means our whole metro market, digital marketing area. And so what that means is Loudoun County, Knox, Sevier, Granger, anywhere that our area covers, probably about an hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours, but I'd say about an hour and a half outside of Knoxville is going to be considered in that. So we've got about 4,500 homes in the Knoxville DMA presently now. But we look across the country, we're seeing inventory rising. Inventory is rising in Tennessee at 16.3%. Florida is almost 50%. We've got property in Florida. So inventory has dramatically increased. We talked about it in one of the shows here recently that some of the lenders actually thought some of that market was a declining market. So 50% inventory increase in a short period of time. And why is that? I think there's a combination of reasons, but let's stay focused on the inventory. We got Virginia, old home state there, 2.9% of inventory increasing, very low. Texas, 36.3%. You got California, 7.2%. Why is that number so low? Don't laugh. They've already left. No, just kidding. But if number's low, I'm just teasing, guys. I'm just teasing. Just having fun. Real estate with Ryan. In New York, 8.4%. Now, I've got a great client we're working with, past client actually, and super friend. Really can't appreciate her enough. And she said, Ryan, I've got 3 homes in the New York market right now, and nobody's looking at them. It was $9 million, and they adjusted it down to $2 million, and still can't get any activity. 3 of them. I said, Ryan, nobody wants to live there. Everybody's leaving. And so you're seeing some of the states that reflect those areas in the marketplaces where that inventory hasn't rose, but we've seen that probably as an indication over the last couple of years, we're getting inventory, people relocating to East Tennessee and other states. And then we're having people relocate out of the states and sell just because of the reasons and obviously with the interest rates. So we've got about 30 seconds here before we go into the show. Let's talk about what's your budget. So if we're looking for a home, number one, we're going to talk about budgeting. It's the biggest thing you're going to do in today's marketplace. Obviously, interest rates are rising, but they're lower this week and probably to be expected as we go into an election be a greatest opportunity. Look at your budget, number one. If it doesn't fit the budget, don't include it in the house pricing or the house search. If we don't do that, we may push ourselves a higher up price. Look, stay with us in just a few seconds. We'll come back. Real Estate Ryan's second half.
Your friend promised we wouldn't be homeless.
He promised. He's doing everything to fix it.
You need to call and have him fix it now.
Hey, ma'am.
Found us a house.
No, not yet. Let me call you back. We're working on it.
Ryan Coleman with Hometown
He says he's doing the best he can do, honey.
Well, he's taking too long. I knew we should have gone with Ryan Coleman.
Choosing the right agent is never easy.
Call your hometown experts. We'll take care of all the details and make sure you don't get stuck in a motel.
I'm Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty. The real estate market's changing every day. You need to know your home's value in today's market. Text your home address to 290-2290 for an instant, no obligation home evaluation. That's 865-290-2290. And remember, when you're ready to sell, we have a guaranteed sale program to get you in your next home stress-free. Trust your hometown experts. We've helped thousands of people just like you. All right, we're back at it, second half, Real Estate with Ryan. Sorry, got that break coming up pretty quick. It's hard to time this thing out. I get to talking, getting excited, getting into the topic, and before you know it, we're breaking. But anyway, thank you for staying with us, and thank you for tuning in every week, and really appreciate you guys. Before we get going, we're going to do our 60-second vol update so we can get that out and get right into the show. All right, 60-second vol update. Drum roll, please. Tennessee basketball is hot on 𝐂𝐮𝐲𝐢𝐳, point guard, number one in the portal. Make sure that all eyes are on him. Congrats to Rick Barnes and them, and hopefully we land another vol here. So super exciting news there. Signed 𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐿. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. New addition to Vol Nation. Excited, glad to have you. We got 3 scholarships left for men's basketball. Opportunity there. Hopefully get some great pickups here in the men's basketball program. And the baseball team that's on fire. Got May 10th. We've got a game versus Vanderbilt in Nashville. That's what I've got. 60-second Vol update. As you know, Hometown Realty, proud sponsor of the Vols. Go Big Orange. All right. Why is budget important, Ryan? Why is budget important? Because in today's economy, if you don't stay on budget, you end up pushing your housing budget higher than you want to be. What is the ideal budget? Ideal budget's about 25% of your monthly take-home, not gross. And that should include property taxes, insurance, HOA fees, and gives you breathing money for room left over. So it happens, right? It happens that, you see that house, your significant other sees that house and say, honey, let's go look at it. Let's go look at it. It's a little bit over our budget. Maybe they'll come down. Be careful on that, because what happens is what we see all the time is we go look at that house. Maybe it's $50,000 over our marketplace. And then we run the numbers. The numbers are just not where you want to be. And you know what? We go look at every other house and we're comparing it to a different price bracket. So watch that, because there'll be some disappointment. You want to push higher, but in today's economy, try to stay in budget the best you can. Now, with interest rates now, they say, Ryan, well, I want to wait. The challenge, I'd like to share that graph with you. I'm going to bring it up on next show, that how many times over the last 30 years in real estate where we try to time the market perfectly, that the cost of housing is consistently rising. That means if you had already owned the home, you started gaining appreciation in your home. But it's so hard to time the market. The best time to buy, as we talked about in the first segment, is actually when you're ready to buy. Are you transferring out of state? It's probably time to sell. I need to be closer to the grandbabies. I'm going to tell you, hey, that's so popular and hits the chord with a lot of my clientele. Hey, it's more important than interest rates, right? Because with interest rates, the market goes up, it goes down. Everybody remembers the refinance boom. Some of my lenders, I didn't even talk to them much. They were so busy. It was hard to get them on the phone. They were doing so many refinance. It was craziness. But that's an opportunity that when the markets do adjust, and if they do, and they will, because it goes in peaks and valleys, those are opportunities to lower your price. We're always going to encourage you to get a 30-year fixed or 15-year fixed. The adjustable rates are great, but there's so much volatility in today's marketplace, you just can't afford not to have a fixed housing payment, right? That's one of the things you don't want to roll around with every month something, or every year things could be changing. Down payment's key, Ryan. Maybe I don't have my 20%. What's the ideal down payment I should save? Well, if you're first-time buyers in today's market, just getting in the game, getting in the marketplace is huge. We have a lot of programs. If you're a veteran, then we have a 100% program. We have some income-restricted programs. And, of course, we have FHA that's 3.5%. We've got some programs at 5% and 10%. The question always comes down to the monthly payments. The larger the down payment, we're going to avoid mortgage insurance. You're going to have a more comfortable payment and a better equity position. We're always going to suggest that you at least put 10% down, because for some unforeseen circumstances, your job transfers, you change, you need to sell your house, and the market hasn't changed, you need to make sure that you can sell your property and transfer out of state if you don't want to rent it. Okay, so that's an opportunity. And if you put 3 or 5% down, you may not have enough equity if you do need to do that. So that's an opportunity. 15-year, we're big, strong believers in a 15-year mortgage. I know it's hard today with prices being astronomical, but really look at those 15 years. The good thing about 15 years, they pay off in 15 years. There's a lot of different scenarios out there in the marketplace that say, hey, well, I can get a 30-year and I can pay an extra payment to principal. The challenge is we've got the greatest in intentions, but sometimes we just don't do that. And I'd probably be one of those guys where I'd want to do that. And we had a 30-year one time, and we changed it. We got a 15-year. And you know what? Didn't make any extra payments, and our house is almost paid off. So, those things are really, really important. And it's a great wealth building tool if you can do that. Keeping your debt down and paying your mortgage down with the higher payment. Just got to stay in budget. But if not, I do understand. Getting home ownership is the most important thing right now, especially with the cost of housing going up. How much are we going to save for moving? Moving in East Tennessee, if you're local, I think it's a budget. Depends how big your house is. But on average, you're going to probably be $3,000 to $6,000. If you're going to relocate out of state, it's probably $6,000 to $10,000. Okay, and these are just wide ranges. Depends on if you're going to let them pack or not. Or there's a lot of different factors, but those are good range. So make sure you save, or have some great friends, have some family to help you. Ways to save money during that. You're going to decorate, you're going to furnish. Those are things, are opportunities that you're going to have to think about. Fence, and one of the biggest things that most people don't realize is, got your dog babies, had to put up a fence. We were one of those guys. And so there's a lot of things when you're moving. Make sure that you're allocating your expenses so that you're not shocked at, I got to get in the door, Ryan, but maybe I've got to put up a fence. Maybe I've got to paint. Make sure you're allocating all those things into your budget when you're making your final decision. Buyers, it's so important in today's market. One of the biggest things that we work with and we deal with, we have so many people that are relocating across the country, and buyers that we're working both locally and out of state. And one of the biggest things that you can do in purchasing real estate in our area, number one, especially if you're from out of state, is make sure you come into the area. Number one, get with a great real estate agent that can help you navigate through the process and be your team member. I mean, that's why we do this show every week. You got to have a great team to help you make a successful move, because we know that buying or selling a home is one of the most stressful things you can do, and great teamwork. What is it? My kids play sports, so it's, teamwork, dreamwork, pretty much. You know the saying is that's what it's all about. And great teamwork does help to make the dream work. There you go. It comes in. And so having a great team working in your corner, especially if you don't know this market, is key. Now, I'm going to urge a lot of buyers that are sellers or sellers that are buyers, vice versa. When you're coming to this area, you really have to do some homework. So get with a great agent, number one. Number two, really know your location. How far are you from distance from work? Proximity, traffic. Traffic has gotten crazy over the last couple of years. All right? How close are you to schools? That's another thing, if schools are important. Are you in a private school? Same thing. Shopping, convenience, hospitals, doctors. These are all big factors that you want to map out when you're deciding on an area where you want to relocate. Friends, family. How close do you want to be close to them? And of course, knowing your property values is important. And that's another thing that's so important about knowing our marketplace is knowing your property values. Buyers, when you come here in a certain area, you have to do your homework. We're going to have to ride through. I have a lot of my clients where we spend a good weekend or a couple days, sometimes a week, looking at certain areas. Because East Tennessee is so big, and with the change in the atmosphere of a lot of people working from home, there's opportunities that has widened. And so, like I said, we service about an hour and a half outside of Knoxville. So we've got so many people from the radio show and our marketing that we're helping. So you have those areas in Greenback are different than, Kingston. And Kingston's different than Lenoir City, and so on, and so on. And so you need to do some homework and make sure you do some driving. Also, while looking at properties in those areas, because they carry a big difference in price range. Lenoir City is going to carry different than Loudon, and then West Knoxville is going to carry different than Kingston, and so on. So know those things. Schools, so important. Additional home sites possibilities. When looking at schools, restrictions, land, space. These are big things that people are looking for in our marketplace, and opportunities that have widened the possibility of new inventory coming to the market. That's why we're saying this show, why it's important for you buyers, is the biggest thing that you can do looking forward as more inventory comes in the market is to make sure you're doing your homework. We're going to wound down the show here, checking the roof, appliances, and then if the home's been on the market, is there any issues with the property, and ask those questions with the agent. Guys, I really appreciate you this week. I hope some of these tips are helpful if you're thinking about purchasing a home in 2024. As always, if we can be involved in any part of that process, we'd love to help you. Our phone number is 693-SOLD, or you can visit us at ryancoleman.org.